From One Biloxi Square, Studio A, in Lake Worth, Texas. Welcome in, everybody, to another edition of the Grandpa and Pappy Show, a Friday edition, and getting ready for the weekend, Pappy.
Yeah. Any big plans this weekend?
Well, probably going to be doing more real estate stuff, but other than that, I really don't know. You?
I don't make plans, you know me.
Yeah, whatever itches, you scratch.
That's right. It helps you enjoy the moment a lot better when you know
Lord,
what's going to happen. You know? So, welcome aboard, everybody. Good to have you along.
It really is, and we've got a really interesting topic today that a lot of you commented on.
Yeah.
A lot of you NASCAR fans.
Yeah, or ex-NASCAR.
We asked the question: did NASCAR go too far to appease Bubba Wallace? Bubba Wallace.
What do you think?
Well, I think they jumped the gun. I really do. I mean, after all of it's said and done, and the FBI went in and investigated every angle and said there was nothing to it, no purposeful intent is the word I'm looking for. So,
Well, I think the media, just like everything else, media got in there and distorted it. I mean, I watched an interview with Steve Harvey and Bubba Wallace this morning, by the way. Mm-hmm. And, everybody here, Steve Harvey, I want to introduce you to my man. They showed pictures of the noose and all that. Bubba he's not even the one that came across it. It was a crew member. And it showed a picture of said noose, and it was a hangman's noose. It wasn't one of these little cords you pull your garage door down with. It was an actual rope that was hung. It had a hangman's noose tied in it. So, Bubba didn't even report it.
and it had been like that for 9 months.
Well, he'd probably been there forever, yeah.
Yeah. Just so you could reach up and grab a hold of it and pull it down.
Yeah, regardless, but the thing is, it's overplayed. Just like everything else, the media get in it and stretch it all out to hell and back and make a big deal out of it, make a racist thing out of it. And
everything's got to be racist these days.
Damn Trump. You know what they say, damn Trump. He probably had one of his people do it. So.
Well, speaking of President Trump, after the FBI did their investigation into this incident, he came out on Twitter because he couldn't get into the news feeds or news media to give him a break. Yeah. He said Bubba Wallace and NASCAR owe an apology to their fans.
Well,
and made a simple statement. Boy, he's getting crucified for it.
No, well,
but it's a simple statement that's a truth.
He called it a hoax. He called it what it is, in my opinion. Somebody was probably screwing with old Big Bubba, and of course, Bubba didn't have a sense of humor about it. I guess, I don't know, in these times.
Well, here again, I blame NASCAR. What they should have done is had it investigated before they ever made any statement, but no, everybody was too happy to talk to the media, and you know what happens when the media gets a hold of something they think is racism. They just blow it out of proportion, Pappy, and that's exactly what happened. And then NASCAR makes all these changes.
Well, it opened up a can of worms is what it did. And
Pandora's box.
All these non-essential implemented changes that's going down, maybe they enjoy seeing empty seats in the stands. I don't know.
Well, they're going to see a lot of them.
They won't be seeing my happy ass sitting up there watching. I know that.
And it's reflected in all the viewer opinions that we got from you guys.
Yeah,
boy, we must have struck a nerve on this one. And there's a lot of NASCAR fans, Pappy.
It's a southern sport as that goes. It was devised and implemented in the South. Mm-hmm. And when you're dealing with Southern people, we have set ways of doing things. Why change it? It's not screwed up. Why change it? Mm-hmm. What's that flag? Who's the Confederate flag bothering anyway? It's a symbolic of history.
Yeah.
Which is another show in its entirety.
It really is. Which we've covered, I think. Incidentally, everybody, today is show number 50 for the Grandpa and Pappy Show, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
Why don't you lead us off?
And while I'm thinking about it, I want to wish a happy anniversary to my middle son, Jordan, and his beautiful wife, Cassie. Happy 90th, guys.
Yeah, happy anniversary, guys.
It was yesterday. I couldn't be more proud in my life.
Well, there you go.
The boy gave me a beautiful grandbaby and got him a gorgeous wife.
Oh, and she is gorgeous, folks.
And life is good for the Terry. So, all right, moving along. Eddie Dixon said, yes, they did. They went way overboard.
Eddie he's a man of few words, isn't he?
He knows how to hit a point in a short way.
John Bossy said yes, and both he and NASCAR owe their fans an apology. Well, I do believe that. I've already said that in the opening monologue.
Well, we'll probably get one down the road, when they start crying about all that lack of money.
Yeah, and when all that viewership goes down and that TV money dries up.
Yep. Jerry Williamson said they bent the knee like all the other sports.
Yeah, he's got a point there. Yep. Frank Edgar said in the 60s, kids learned to tie a hangman's noose because of cowboy movies. The good guys always won. We were not taught that the noose had anything to do with racism. Only a moron could look at a hangman's noose and mistake a bowline for a hangman's noose. I'd like to know the truth about the whole thing. Did the folks involved really think it was a noose? I just can't fathom grown men being that stupid. Was it a prank that got out of hand? What really happened?
Well, there again, watch the interview. It's posted on Facebook between Steve Harvey and Bubba Wallace, and if that's the truth, I'll run with it, Yeah. But there was a noose involved, according to the picture they posted. But anyway, watch that and make your own determination. Doug Gressett said, being in the Boy Scouts in the '60s, and with both of my sons in the '90s, we learned all about knots and ropes. A noose was just another knot, although unofficial, and the challenge was always making enough loops to come out even at the end without a long tail. But it never was a race thing at all.
Yeah.
No.
I never was taught about that.
Excuse me.
I know you weren't either.
Well, yeah.
About racism and stuff. Nooses and racism.
And my pop being from Hamburg, Arkansas, he was very racist. Mm-hmm. But he grew up in a time to where being a racist wasn't a racist. I mean, that was just a way of life back in the day. I mean, sad as it is.
That's true.
That's true. And he kind of flip-flopped, in his older age as things progressed in this crazy world. But yeah, I mean, a hangman's noose is it's kind of like putting your thumb on the big red button when you electrocute somebody. It's just another form of punishment. That's all it was. So. That's what they had back then.
That's true.
Yeah, they'd just shoot your ass and be done. Which worked pretty good, too.
Yeah, I heard that. Diana Concannon says she was a NASCAR fan in the past, so no comment. It makes her sick. Time for NHRA and dirt track racing for me.
And, Diane's one of them Tennessee girls, so this hits pretty close to home to her, I would imagine.
Yeah, Doug came back and had another comment right after this. Go ahead.
He said he came back with another observation saying NASCAR really did go overboard with both the noose and the flag. They have alienated a large percentage of their longtime fans. I am considering not renewing my season tickets at TMS next year, and I have been going there for almost 20 years. They have been in existence. So.
And I believe that because I've seen his posts and Facebooks over the years.
Well, it's just like Mike Lipka, bud.
Yeah.
He's broken-hearted over it.
Yeah, he really is.
Probably flying his flag upside down knowing him.
Well, that's true. George Pendergrass said NASCAR pissed off the rednecks and the silent majority.
In a large way, they did.
Very large way.
Bobby Reynolds said, this has all been blown so out of proportion. The noose turned out to be the rope to lower the garage with. The FBI found no wrongdoing on the part of no one at the track, and our president simply said that Bubba Wallace and NASCAR owed their fans an apology. But no, it has to be all about a racial issue like everything seems to be today. They definitely lost a lifelong fan. I'd rather watch twirling competition now. Well, I'll be honest with you, Bobby. I've always would rather watch a twirling competition. They dress a lot cuter than race car drivers.
A twirling competition.
Good.
That got me on that one. Twirling competition.
That's right.
Jerry Blum, Janice Parker, Eddie Sorsby, Pat Thompson, and Belinda Tatum all agree NASCAR went too far on this one.
Yeah, I agree. Marjorie Taylor says she and her husband Tom are fed up with NASCAR. In protest, all fans need to fly a Confederate flag and dare people to come after it, which a lot of them are doing that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They should also quit watching the races on TV so advertisers can see that no one cares anymore. If that happens, you'll see NASCAR get off their asses and resume the events like they're supposed to. Hit them in the pocket, and by God, that'll get their attention every time, right?
I love our viewers. They just,
Thanks for
just
sending that
tell
in.
it like it is. I love that.
Well, I mean,
We ask them to, and by God, they do.
That's the premises of our show. Let your voices heard.
That is that's just way too funny. Yeah. Oh, Brett Coleman, he sent us in a novel. He said, I think so. This is actually going to run colorblind folks on both sides to join racist groups because the media, along with Marxist groups BLM and Antifa, are attacking good people and their businesses, many of which are black-owned.
That'll show you their agenda right there. Right?
Yeah. Well, you know, I'll finish here. Well, let me finish this and we'll talk about it. Plus, look at the number of black people killed by blacks since this got kicked off. A lot of patriotic white people who are not racist feel threatened because we're being accused of racism and white privilege, and whites are being jumped by cowards.
Yep.
There will be white folks joining non-racist militias, and unfortunately, some will be joining racist groups in response to these black militias. This could horribly backfire for the leftist elites, BLM and Antifa, if a race war were to erupt. White people are, for the most part, patriotic, non-racist, who are tired of being villainized by these radical groups who want black supremacy, reparations, and to mistreat whites. It's really going to be bad for all Americans if the majority of 30 to 55-year-old white folks, fed up with this mess, decide to confront them head on.
Well, that's probably going to start a revolution right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly.
It's not going to be pretty. Let's put it that way. And Brett, Black Lives Matter, the only thing I can say about Black Lives Matter, I don't mind people having their own organizations, but to me, when you hear the name Black Lives Matter, yes, Black Lives Matter. All lives matter.
All lives matter, yeah.
But BLM needs to start in their own community and stop their people from killing each other. I mean, the black murder rates among black people is astronomical.
Oh, man.
And you take a look at what happened over the July 4th weekend in Chicago, where Black Lives Matter killed that little 7-year-old girl who was also an African American.
Yeah.
So Black Lives Matter, you need to stay out of the politics and leave the Democrats and liberals alone and start concentrating on your own community. That's what the little girl's dad was saying, if you remember his statement.
Yeah, well, work on your own issues. Don't be dragging people into it and burning and plundering and
looting and yeah, I mean, it's just like something like that happens and the looting starts. Oh my God, buffet! Let's go and get a new TV. I want some new sneakers. Don't forget. Yes.
Let me see what $800 sneakers.
I want them Michael Jordans.
In your $150 a month cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Doty says we have a lot of people trying to appease others, trying to prove they aren't racist. Doing that out of guilt might mean you're just a racist trying to prove that you're not.
Jerry, that's profound. I mean, you got my head turned around.
Well, it makes sense, though.
Well, it does.
A lot of people hide behind that racist remark, and they'll stand up on top of a building and tell you, I'm not racist, and then, Kind of like some of the churches I've been to, you know. I mean, they go, "Hey, brother, I love you," and when you walk off, they're flipping you off, you know. Not all of them. Not all of them.
Not all
Don't
of
get
them.
me
Yeah,
wrong.
I
Just
do.
some of them.
Darla Walker said, "I'm never watching again."
I don't blame you, darling. Philip Charles Day said, "Yes, they overdid it. How the heck is he black when he is half and half and not all of either? He just picked black. He's using it." No, I disagree with that. He can't help what he is, you know what I mean?
Well, I understand. I mean,
And he is a talented driver. I mean, he wouldn't be there if he wasn't. You know?
yeah, he's got to have some kind of expertise in that area.
Yeah.
Referring to Bubba Wallace, Diane Fox said, "Well, he is a mediocre driver at best. He did this to get in the spotlight. Shall we say piece of crap? Just like Cap and Smole." Kaepernick, I guess.
Smollett. Yeah.
Oh, Smollett. Okay, I got you.
Jesse Smollett.
Smollett.
Jesse Smollett, that famous French guy. Marla Purley says yes to overdoing it, and I love NASCAR. I did not watch over the weekend, and I won't now. Sorry, Ellett and Trooks. They were my favorites.
Truex.
All I can say is they better be glad Odell Sr. ain't kicking around still.
Yeah.
He'd be right in the middle of this, wouldn't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you really can't say for sure. You know, you really can't say for sure. And, you know, the drivers, once they found out this, you know, they showed solidarity for Bubba, fellow driver.
Oh, yeah.
I think they went a little too far, but, you know, they did show their solidarity, and my hat's off to them for that. But now, from what I hear, NASCAR wants to do the Black National Anthem before races begin.
Yeah.
So you're going to further alienate your fan base, NASCAR, if you do that. Now, I'm just warning you.
We'll get a lot of booze.
Yeah, if there's anybody in the stands, as you so adequately pointed out a while ago.
Yeah.
Marla Purley says yes to overdoing it, and I love NASCAR. I did. Oh, we've already read that one, didn't we? Sorry.
It's so good, we're going to read it again.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Jamie Ward in Mississippi said she has stopped watching. I used to love the sport. My choice was because of the kneeling. I was concerned about Bubba till I found out what the truth was. Mm-hmm. They should not have jumped to conclusions and researched it before the media found out. That's what we were talking about to open the...
Jamie. Yeah, thanks for saying that in. And Big Al can probably concur with it. Big Al Robertson said if they thought it was a hate crime, they should have kept a lid on it until the FBI could investigate to see if it was indeed a hate crime. If it was, they were out to do what they did. But they didn't find anything or anyone responsible, but they took the action anyway. I guess they folded under one black driver, ESPN, and Fox Sports demands. What a crock of shit. Pretty well said, Big Al. Yeah.
Well, he don't pull no punches, does he?
Yeah,
Hey, Big Al, do you have any of that pig left that y'all roasted 4th of July?
That's right. Doubtful.
Yeah.
He's called Big Al for a reason, I'm sure.
But, you know, he's really right. We kind of touched on that just a few minutes ago. Yeah. I really put all the blame at the foot of NASCAR because they should have kept a lid on this until it was investigated.
Well, they screwed up and got media involved, and then they felt pressured from everything that came tumbling down on them, you know, to react, I guess. Yeah. Just like anybody else, you know.
Good Lord of mercy.
Deny.
Well, they should have kept a lid on it until it was all done. But NASCAR just immediately went to all of these things that they have instigated now, which has just absolutely PO'd all of their fan base.
Oh, well, hell, they knew what was about to come down, you know. I mean, they're going to, like any business, you're going to do whatever the hell it takes to protect your interest. You know?
Yeah, and one of the first things they instigated is the taking away the sale of Confederate flags outside of the tracks by the vendors.
Yeah, I bet that only boosted the sales of Confederate flags, especially in the southern states. You know, I mean, I see ads, 2-3 ads a day online. You know, in my perusing around Confederate flag.
Yeah. You know, we watched a program the other day, What Would You Do? And John Quiones, a ABC news reporter, has been around forever. They had hired an older guy, actor, to wear a blue jean jacket with a Confederate flag on the back. And they hired a black actor to also be in the same restaurant across from him. And it was kind of well, he had a
Trump 2020
no, he had a blue t-shirt on and jeans, and Quinones would cue him. You know, they had these little earpieces,
Right.
and the black guy would say something to the effect of, "Excuse me, sir, do you know that jacket offends me?" And the guy was very passive, and he said, "Well, I apologize if it offends you, but it's my heritage, and I'm proud of my heritage."
Yeah.
You know, he was very calm, and the whole thing was to watch the reaction from people sitting around him.
I've seen some of those shows that he does.
Some of them were really taking it to the next level. I mean, backing up the African American. And the guy never raised his voice. The older guy, he was, "Well, I apologize if I offended anybody, but this is my heritage, and I happen to be very proud of it." You know, he was just calm, collected. But boy, some of them people sitting at those restaurants, and they did it like in 3 or 4 different restaurants.
Some of those reality shows just never ceases to amaze me because I've seen a lot of them, and the first thing that enters my mind is that'd be a damn good way to get shot. You know? Or get the hell beat out of you something. But you know, I mean, when you talk about said hate crimes that are going down, a lot of times not a word said. You got some old man like me walking down the street, and all of a sudden you got a bunch of dumbasses just come out of the dark and beat the snot out of you for
Or
no
kill
reason.
you.
Yeah. You know?
It was just like that guy in New York City walked by that 92-year-old woman and just blindsided, knocked the hell out of her.
Oh man, I'd be serving time over there.
Well,
And by
they
the way,
finally found him and arrested him.
that brings something up, and you know who you are out there. I know you used to be a fan of the show till I blocked your ass. I got in a big squabble with an old boy online on our podcast show about what would you do if somebody just walked up and slapped the fire out of you for no reason.
Yeah.
I said I'd probably shoot the bastard. And here we go. You know, it's people like you that you know.
It's people like you that cause people like you to get shot.
Oh, and he even invited me to come to Arkansas
Yeah.
so he could show me just how big a man I am. I said, you know, I'm not going to waste my time on you, but if you want to pursue it, you're welcome to come to the trailer hood, and I'll waste a slug on you. Be my loss.
Well, whoever you are, you don't want to piss this guy off, and especially his sons. Oh, my God.
Well, I told Jordan about it. He just laughed. He thought it was funny. He said, what a dumbass. I said, yep.
Our buddy Brian Emerton up in Tennessee says, yes, they overdid it. They've gone way too far with the rebel flag issue, period.
Yep.
Today's racing is just like today's radio. It ain't worth my time anymore.
Well, you know, I mean, there comes a time in any given situation, especially these days, more so than not, and maybe we should step up and worry. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe we should. I mean, it might get something changed. Marlene Perry said, yes, NASCAR went too far, too quick. If a Confederate flag offends anyone, don't look. I'm offended with a gay pride flag, BLM, or any other laxative that is on the flag. But that doesn't mean a damn thing to the left. How do you really feel? Geez, everyone just needs to chill out, take a drink, smoke a doobie, or whatever it takes just to let it roll off their skin. Well, therein probably lies why all that crap is going on. Everybody just chilling the hell out, not saying anything about it, but I can understand why you're saying what you're saying. Smoke a doobie.
Who said that? Marlene Perry. Marlene, thank you for making my day.
Yeah.
That is one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Pretty insightful. Thanks for sending that in, by the way.
Oh, I got my eyes watering on that one, boy. Lord have mercy.
Oh, man. Geez, everybody just needs to chill out.
Yeah. Well, and kind of in conclusion on what we were talking about, I really do think NASCAR went overboard, and so do the majority of their fan base.
Yeah.
I mean, stop and think about this. You have fans that travel all week to different tracks to watch this.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
And spend
lots
of
dinero,
money. Yeah.
Lots of money.
And a lot of these fans are just saying to heck with it.
Yeah.
No,
I'm like Brian. It's not worth my time. I mean.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge fan of NASCAR. I mean, not to where I want to spend the kind of money it takes to go and set. And I mean, I've been to 2 or 3 races, been in the infield and all that. But I like the best seat in the house. Sitting on my couch, drinking a beer in my drawers, watching the rednecks go in circles.
Go to the left.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I don't have a problem with NASCAR, but any sport to where this type of activity is going on, to where they put their sport or an agenda in front of what America's all about, can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm boycotting football. I'm boycotting anything that's putting their agenda ahead of America. I'm not going to do it.
Well, I keep going back to our friend Mike Lipka.
Yep.
And Mike is the biggest NASCAR fan, he and his wife, that I've ever known. They just
right up there with Barry Collum.
For years they went to these races, and they just absolutely love it. And boy, he is on the warpath.
Yeah.
Against this.
Barry Collum is huge. What you got, Special K?
Hold on, let me turn you up here. Go for it.
So I wonder what percentage of the African American population versus Hispanic and Caucasian population makes up the fan base for NASCAR.
Well, I can tell you this, it'll be a lot more now. I don't know about Hispanic, but you'll see a lot more African Americans at the races.
Become NASCAR fans?
Yeah, since they've done away with the Confederate flag and BLM and all this crap, which is fine. I mean,
Well, that could be true, but still the majority of it was Caucasians.
Yeah, that's true.
And Southern.
Well, it's a Southern thing. That's where it originated. Yeah. So,
and it's been around long enough to where it dates back to the Ku Klux Klan days and all that.
Well, it started out as moonshining.
Yeah.
That's where it originated from, running moonshine.
Thunder Road.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Well, let's take a look at some of the viewer comments we got in, Pappy, and we've got a couple of them here that we really want to address.
Yeah.
If I may start it off, Deborah Busso-Folio commented on our show, if you could go anywhere in the chaotic world, where would it be? She says she went on her dream trip this past year to England and Scotland. On the list to visit, places include Norway, Greece, Australia, New Zealand, there's your place, and to southern France to see the Pyrenees Mountains.
That's beautiful over there. That is.
Oh, you got my curiosity piqued on the New Zealand thing.
You need to go
The way you describe it is very passionate.
It's the damnest thing I've ever seen in my life. I thought Hawaii was pretty. New Zealand will make a punk out of Hawaii, in my opinion. It really will. But, this is in a time to when the Euro, they're under the Great Britain flag.
Right.
And they were trying to implement the Euro over there. Mm-hmm. And at the time, their state dollar is a kiwi. Okay, that's what it's called. So is their state bird and their state fruit, or national fruit and dollar. But anyway, the U.S. dollar to the kiwi was 2.72, or their kiwi was 2.72 to our U.S. dollar.
Right.
So I was living like a rock and roll star when I was over there.
Well, there you go.
But just the sights, and it's indescribable.
Yeah.
Just undescribable. And you've got a North and a South Island. North Island is full of volcanic stuff, which will bring to mind like Hawaii. That's what that part. But you go to the Southern Island, it's all, you've got the Alps. You've still got Aborigines and natives living up in the mountains.
Yeah.
You don't want to screw around too much up there by yourself.
No.
But it's just gorgeous. It really is. You'll love it, Deborah. You really will.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been to all those places except Greece. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll get an eyeful. I guarantee you. Take
I
lots
see.
of pictures.
Where we at here?
Brian Emerton also commented on that show. He said, "My soul feels like I belong in New Orleans in the swamp somewhere." Hell, I thought that's where you came from, Brian. And another part of me feels like I need to be in Brooklyn. Hell, I'd be happy anywhere besides Illinois. The most boring state ever. I love Tennessee, but the people, they're changing.
Yeah.
And I think that's...
The times they are changing.
Yeah, I think that's everywhere, brother.
Yeah, Gabriel Perez says he likes our shows, but has noticed a lot of interference in a lot of them. Is it my computer? No, it is not. It is not,
ours.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
It is our software package, and
And
taken care
we've
of.
only bitched about that about 50 times now. So,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so we're working on it.
All right.
Work in progress. Mark Carrington liked our show about going back and changing one thing. He said, if I could, I'd go back and would have never lit my first cigarette or taken my first drink. Well, I'm 50% with you there. But in the long run, I'd just light up and take another shot at Jack Black. I like this guy. Keep it up, fellas. We will, Mark. We appreciate that. Thanks for sending it in.
Charlie Simmons says he has become a huge fan of Thomas Gabriel and wants to know if we can get him back on our show again. Sure. I have listened to everything on YouTube and any other outlet I can find, and I love his music.
By the way, for about another, maybe a week, I guess,
Yeah.
you know, he did a live studio show
Yes, he did.
last week.
Yes, he did.
And go to his website and look for it. And it costs you $5.99, which is like 1960s prices on good concert tickets, but it's a great show. I mean, you'd really enjoy it. But yeah, he's got his own website. Just search Thomas Gabriel and hit follow.
Yeah,
and subscribe to his site.
there you go.
The hell of a guy. And to answer your question, yeah, he left an open window. He said anytime he'd love to come back on the show, and we'd love having him. 'Cause he's a great guy.
He is really there.
Hell of a nice guy.
It has been fun today, and I really want to thank all of you for all of your comments. And remember, you
that's
can
right.
always send us your comments here to us, and it's very simple. All you have to do is go to our email address, which is grandpaandpappy@gmail.com.
Yeah, and if that hurts your finger too much to push all those letters, go directly to our website. You can hit us there at www.grandpa, the letter N, Pappy, grandpaandpappy.com. And while you're there, abracadabra, push that big red button.
I think she does that well, doesn't she?
Hell, I thought I had magic in it.
Right there.
It looks
Right
exactly
there,
like
friends.
that big red button. And subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Comments, suggestions.
Yep.
We read them all.
We certainly do.
And by all means, tell a friend or family member about it. We got plenty of room on board this big ark.
We sure do.
Everybody. So we'd
Coming
love to
up,
have you on.
Pappy, on Monday is another interesting topic that we have been flooded with comments on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, if rioters came on your property, what would you do?
Well, I would invite them in and give them a cup of tea and try to defuse the situation.
Right after I shot their ass between the eyes.
There you go. Anyway, that should be a good show, and you still have time to give us your comments.
Oh, yeah. Let us know.
But we enjoyed it today. Thank you. And we want
We
to
always do. You guys rock.
hope,
Y'all are
we just hope you guys have a good weekend.
Yeah.
We want you to be safe.
Yeah.
Hug your children. Let them know you love them.
Let them know we love them, too, and take care of one another.
Absolutely. Until we see you back on Monday, everybody have a good one, and we'll see you soon.
Happy weekend, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Here.